Welcome inside another edition of the Lelo Prado Show here at GoUSFBulls.com. Ronan O'Shea joined by the head coach of the Bulls here inside the Verizon Fios studios. Coach, a couple of games are right around 500 here as you get set to go back on the road this weekend up to South Orange, New Jersey for 3 against Seton Hall. And in terms of conference play, the team's playing pretty well. You've won each of the last 2 series, taking 2 of 3 from Villanova and Rutgers over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've done a good job on those weekends, and you know, we wanted some sweeps, but it didn't happen. But we won each series, and that's what it's all about. You win them all, and you got a chance to be the Big East champion.
And it's been going with Randy Fontanez in Game 1 of these weekend sets, and he's done everything you've asked of him this year. The senior's been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, he's done everything we've asked of him since his freshman year. I mean, he's had a great career here, should have many more wins, but we haven't done the job late in games. But he's been solid for us. We need him to, now with the injuries we have, he needs to be solid every Friday night, and so far he's done that.
With Barbosa out the rest of the weekend rotation, Kyle Eastham and now Matt Reed, the junior left-hander, has stepped in. Talk about him stepping up and pitching now in the weekend rotation.
I mean, the key with him is throwing strikes, getting ahead of guys, and he keeps us in ball games. I mean, he gives us always 5-6 solid innings, and like I said, the way our bullpen is pitching right now, I really like the way they're going, and I think if we could get the lead and with those guys coming out of there, I feel good about our chances.
You mentioned the bullpen. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how dominating Kevin Quackenbush has been. The question has been who's going to get to him consistently, and it looks like Zach Petrick and Jimmy Moran have sort of stepped up and filled that role in the late-inning relief work.
Yeah, they both have come on. I mean, Zach is a strike thrower. He's been a great young man on our program. He does everything we ask of him, and I couldn't be happier for him in his senior season that he's pitching the way he is. And Jimmy Moran's got a great arm, and when he throws strikes, he's pretty impressive. So if those guys can continue to do what they're doing and get it to Quack, it turns into a 6-inning ball game.
One more thing here on pitchers before we shift gears and talk hitters. The one guy who has now been pushed out of the weekend rotation has been the freshman lefty Nick Gonzalez. Struggled again in a loss earlier this week at Stetson. You mentioned to me before the ball game that you think it's something upstairs. He's been much more wild over the last couple of outings as he's really struggled on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, we thought he would be able to compete at this level at this time, and, you know, he hasn't. And I know Chuck's working like crazy trying to get that body and that arm, you know, where it needs to be a successful college pitcher. But sometimes a freshman has a tough time early in his career, and he's gone through that. And we're going to back off him a little bit in the middle of the weeks and see what happens. But he's got all the tools. He's just got to mentally know the game, which he doesn't. And, you know, little by little he's getting it, but he's got a long way to go.
You tried a couple different people in the leadoff slot earlier in the year, and Jonathan Costco's been your guy, and rightfully so. He's hitting over 300 now in the year, right around 330 now, and it seems like all he does is get on base, whether he's getting a base hit by a pitch, or drawing a walk.
Well, I mean, he's not your typical leadoff man. We would love to put him number 2 in the lineup, but he gets on base. And as a leadoff guy, you got to have that. And he's a guy that everything we ask him to do, he does. And they call him the businessman for a reason. He's a great kid. He does everything right off the field. And on the field, he gives you everything he has. And every day you go out there, you know what you're going to get from John Costco.
Junior Carlin has been your number 2 guy pretty much all year, and he really struggled over the first month or so, hitting right around 200. But that batting average is starting to go up. I mean, this is a guy in his career who's hit over 300 in his time at USF. He's got the longest hitting streak on the team right now at 12 games, and it seems like the bat's finally coming around for Junior.
Well, it is finally. I mean, he's getting a little more focused. Early in the year, I knew he was not focused on what we had to do, and he struggled. He struggled like crazy. Thank God he's been pitching pretty good, but now he's coming around, and if he stays focused down the rest of the way, we got a chance to have a pretty good number 2 guy.
Sam Mendy, though, in a little bit of a funk right now. He's hitting around 290, down 80 points or so from the middle of March. What have you noticed difference about what he's doing in the box?
Yeah, it's all mental with him. I mean, he needs to get with Chris Heinz and get in the cages and work, and he does that a lot. I mean, he's a baseball player, but he fights himself. And when he gets stubborn and he wants to do things his own way, he's not a very good player. When he does the things and he wants to be a complete team guy and he does the right things, he's a pretty good player. So we just got to get him right mentally, and if he does, he's going to be fine for us down the stretch.
All right, so you're back on the road this weekend. You're in the stretch of 8 of 9 away from the new ballpark here on campus. What do you see here in Seton Hall up in South Orange?
Well, they got great pitching. They've always had great pitching. They do a great job up there. You know, Friday night might get a little cool, but we're expecting pretty good weather, so the weather's not going to play into it. But they're a solid club with good pitching, and we've got to be ready, or they'll beat us.
All right, Coach, the Bulls 5-4 in conference play Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Keep things right here at GoUSFBulls.com for the latest information on USF baseball. And, Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here on another edition of the Lelo Prado Show here at GoUSFBulls.com.